Hey everybody, it's Bobby from KCA Homestead. We are doing another project in the shop. Building a new shelter for the 3 red wattle hogs. I'm housing them in a small hog trap right now to keep them out of the rain that's inside their big pen, but they're outgrowing it quickly. They went from 30-ish to 40 pounds to about 70 to 80 pounds in just a short time. Okay, so just building a basic square shelter. I'm cutting out the frame right now. This is not attached together. It's just standing in place. So the hogs will basically enter this opening, and it's going to be 5 foot high in the front and 4 foot high in the back. And it's going to have a standard tin roof, 8-foot sheets of tin roof. If I measure it correctly, which is about 7 foot wide, I'll have 6 inches of overhang on each side and a little bit over the front and back, hopefully. If not, I may have to go buy another sheet. I think I've got 4 sheets. I may have measured that wrong or guesstimated it wrong. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is brace it up from here down to here, across the top here, brace it from here up to here, and I'll probably run a middle runner or this way across. And remember, the heat's coming in Texas here. It's only cold for just a little while, so I'm gonna loosely space out some fence pickets, treated fence pickets along the sides and the back, just to keep the rain out. And I haven't decided how tight to put those for spacing, but anyway, hopefully I'll be able to move this thing. I'm probably gonna wait to put the tin on until I get it out in the hog pen, but I've got to move it from here. I'm hoping the tractor forks with some little helper boards on it will help. And then I've got to move it down there about 100 yards. Let's see. You can see the pigs running around now. So it's going to replace that ugly hog trap that's got a tarp over it. I mean, they're still fine in it. They like it. It's cozy. It's got a bale of hay in it. But they need something bigger, and it's going to fit right there where that is, in between those shade trees, because shade is more important than anything during the summer on a hog. As I've mentioned in multiple videos, they don't really have pores for sweating. I may have called it no sweat glands, but it's really no pores. So they have to stay wet, which is why they're in the mud wallow right now, taking turns packing mud on and cooling off. But anyway, I will keep y'all updated as I'm not gonna sit here and film myself attaching boards right now, but I will show some progress footage in case you want to build your own pig shelter. This would also work for a goat shelter, maybe a little bit taller depending on what kind of goats you got, or any other small homestead animal. And if we ever get rid of pigs or don't raise pigs, I can convert it to something else for other animals, which we do want to get milk goats. So it's just simple. The most expensive thing is this treated 2x4s, and the fence pickets were pretty cheap. And the tin is about, I can't remember, $19 a sheet maybe. But if you've bought lumber or if you've bought construction screws or decking screws lately, you know that we're getting gouged by that stuff. But what are you gonna do, make your own screws? All right, I'll be back. Okay, let's do a little progress update. I got the bottom frame squared out. It's about 7 foot wide. This is where the hogs will walk in. It's about, I can't remember, 6.5 foot deep. I cut 45s to brace the corners. And I haven't nailed everything together. So I got the front supports are 5 foot, rear supports are 4 foot. I calculated with AI, and it says I need a 8.8 degree slope for this run. And it should work out good with my roof supports. So I'm gonna do that next after I tack all this together, and I'll be back with more progress. Okay, I got the frame braced up with the 45s. Everything's screwed in. I am gonna run screws through the brace into the corner of the board just for a little extra strength. I've done it on all of them except this one. I got the supports, the uprights cut just under 9-degree angle to allow for the slope of the roof. And that's about it. I'll keep working. All right, I got my side brace runner board clamped up. Left a little overhang so I can mark it, make it look nice, even though it's just a pig pen. Yeah, I could have cut some fancy angles, but I'm just not that good. So I'm gonna unclamp this board, take it over to the miter saw and cut those little angles off, and then screw it up there and do the same thing over here. Half of these boards are warped or twisted, so always a challenge. I'm gonna sink a few screws in here and be done with these side braces. If you use Milwaukee tools, and I'm sure they make them for others, they sell a little kit on Amazon that goes on the side, and it holds bits inside the holes, which are magnetic, and it has a magnet on the outside to hold screws and stuff. Actually pretty handy. Especially when you drop as many screws as I do. All right, you can see the front brace. It's not gonna have any fence pickets really. Maybe a tarp draped down during some bad weather later. And that's I just need to cut another one 78 inches across and put it on the back, just like this one. And then I'll probably put one more in the middle to help out with roof support. Nah, probably two. I bought extra lumber just in case. But let me get back. It's looking good. Now I'll just switch this bit out with the driver bit and use the special Kreg screws to go into those holes and into my braces. Well, it's not perfectly lined up, but I have it supported with these clamps. So basically when I get the board set how I want it, lined up with that angle there, then the screws are gonna go through there, come out the end of this board and into this support. Otherwise I would have to do some janky toenailing, which is no bueno, or have a really long screw to come through here, but I'd probably hit the 6 screws that are in there different places. Same thing over here. You can see the horizontal holes. The Craig jig makes it severe angle so you don't have to try to toenail it. I just got to get this board right, get it cranked down, and get a screw in each end. Let me show you the Craig screws in case you're not familiar with them. Oh, here they are. So they're not normal screws. You can see they have a square head on them. And that matches up to that bit I showed you earlier that I put in that came with the kit. All right, I'll be back. Show you how these Craig screws kind of almost lay straight down. Trying to do this one-handed. I'm gonna go ahead and put 3. Now, the screws are hidden in there completely inside the wood. And I didn't have to drill all the way through here, through two 2x4s. This is hours of experience, minutes maybe. But that's it for the frame. Pretty sturdy compared to what it was. I've got the braces. I'm gonna put one more of these type boards probably running this way across the middle, maybe 2 like I said earlier, so we can do the roof. I'm gonna lay out the 10 and see where I need my supports. And then all I gotta do is maybe run one support across the middle to help keep the fence pickets from bowing, but they're really not a big deal. It's just a pig shelter, not building a house. There's gonna be gaps anyway for air. In case y'all didn't know, pigs stink. Putting in the center brace to help with the roof supports. Yeah, I might have to get a real hammer. Okay, I put the 2 center braces in to support the roofing tin a little better. Sorry, I got sunflower seeds in my mouth. I'm gonna be using 4 sheets of this 8-foot tin. Use the Craig jig here. Just wanted to show you what I was talking about by running the boards horizontal instead of vertical. Cutting out a 2-inch piece for that bottom section down there. Trying to put a level on each piece since they are not perfectly straight. They got lots of warps and bends and twists and rotten spots, I guess, on the side. The black spots, kind of like this. So it's hard to keep them level and stack them, and I want a little gap for ventilation because it gets so hot here. But anyway, I'm gonna do that there, do that on the other side, and then start on these sides. Got to do this side and it'll be ready to move. So I got the back wall finished, looks good. Right now I'm going to space out the sides with a pretty big, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch gap in between them. This is mainly going to be a shade shelter, not a rainproof shelter from the sides. It's not for warmth, really. We're not going to have any more cold weather for them. But anyway, what I'm doing is just putting one screw in, spacing them out about the width of this clamp here. And I'm drawing a pencil line on the angle. You can see it there. I'm about to draw this one, I believe. I already drew it. So then I'm going to take them off. And I'm also numbering them. If you do something like this, so I've got a 1, 2, and a 3. And I'm just going to keep on going down this side, and then I'm going to pull the boards off and cut them all at one time, so I don't have to be running back and forth over there to the miter saw every time I cut a board and come screw it on. So I'll be back. Well, I got lazy and decided not to take off each board and cut it with a miter saw, so I just used a Sawzall. It's ugly as homemade soap. Cut into the 2x4s a little bit, but it's for the pigs, not for me and Mary and guests. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and then it'll be time to haul it out there and put the roof on. I'm gonna trim this board right here, sticking out. Later. All right, we are done except for the roof and the transport. I'm gonna do the roof last, like I said. This Sawzall job was a lot better. So that's it. I don't know if I ever mentioned the measurements. It is 7 foot wide, which leaves 6 inches roof overhang on the left, 6 inches overhang on the right. And it is about 6.5 foot deep. I can't remember the exact measurements. So not quite a square, a little bit wider than it is long. 4 sheets of 10 are gonna do nicely. I'm gonna have overhang out to here and a little overhang off the back for the drip. And it's gonna be up underneath the shade trees. But real happy with it. Got some gaps back in the corner where due to the outside framing I did, but I think I'm just gonna leave it for now. If we end up using this for breeder hogs that we actually keep and use to breed for our own piglets, then I will tighten this up. But real happy with it. It's all treated lumber. 3.5 inch screws on the frame and 1 3/4 for the pickets. And I use the Craig jig screws for stuff like this. So let me see. Yeah, you can see the Craig holes, kind of, sort of, where it comes into that but you don't have to use those. You can make do. Heck, you can buy L-shaped brackets. They're like, look like that, L-shaped, and they'll go in here, and you can screw it in, and that'll hold them, and then you can run a few toenail screws in. But it's just a pig shelter, but I try to take pride in my work. I'm not a carpenter, but I enjoy building this stuff. I learn something every time. Mainly that the price of wood sucks, and old wood is the way to go if you can find old wood on Craigslist or Facebook or whatever. Save all your wood. I keep all my wood and metal and everything from every project because I always find a use for it. And a Kawasaki Mule is a $18,000 workbench, in case you want a workbench. All right, this is Bobby signing off. I will probably add a short clip after we get it moved into the hog pen. Thanks. Well, that was definitely a job, especially for an old man to get that out of here using 2 dollies and getting it up there. I didn't realize how heavy it was, but I had to have Mary back the mule and trailer up, and then I rested it on there, but I couldn't lift it. I couldn't get enough leverage. It was too low to the ground. So I used 2 jack stands. Then I used a board to get enough room for Mary to slide the jack under there. And then I used the jack to get it up about 18 inches. And then I was able to get my legs under me and lift it up. It got wedged on the fender wells. It fit perfectly right over the fender wells of the trailer. So not only was I lifting several hundred pounds, but I had to fight against these fender wells. Luckily they didn't get damaged. Anyway, now I'm going to strap it down with some big ratchet straps, get it over there by the hog pen, and then use my tractor to get the old hog shelter out. Okay, I got it all strapped down. I got one running long ways across the top, and then I got one across the middle going this way. So now, just a matter of slowly transporting it with the my son Jonathan and a couple grandkids came over today, and we got this sucker moved in and got the old one moved out. Got it underneath all the shade. The grandkids hauled all the bale of straw in there and split it up for them, spread it out for them. Fit perfectly where I wanted it in the trees there, facing the direction I wanted to get the least amount of rain. And the pigs are hungry. Life is good. Appreciate y'all watching the channel. I'm gonna try to improve my content. You might have noticed I have a new logo, KCA logo on the channel. Working on some other things. But I appreciate all the followers. I think we're getting close to 1,500 followers. Maybe not. Maybe it's 1,300. I don't know. I don't really keep up with it. I'm probably never going to get monetized because I don't make enough videos. But Pigpen's doing good. We had 3.5 inches of rain. It drained well, just like I was hoping. The wallow is a pond. The roosters won't shut up. But they probably don't respect me because I'm drinking this. All right. Y'all have a good evening. Let's see what's going on the first morning with their new house. Oh, it was cold this morning or last night too. Low 40s, cold for here. They snoozing.